Well, hello, each and every single person. This is your host, Fully Armed from Macro World again. Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, because what we're going to be doing is teaching you how to combine macros. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you a very simple way of going about it. And then one of these, well, I guess we could do it in this video. Um, I call it, or my friends and I call it, sub-macroing. We're actually gonna talk about it right here in this video. Again, most of these videos are just done live. I don't sit down and say, "Oh, what am I gonna do?" I just come here. Well, I'm gonna talk about sub-macroing. I'm gonna talk about combining macros, and just come over here and sit here and do that. So what's the point of this? Because everybody has different macros, different fields, and you want to, at least what I used to do, right? I would come over here to the quest. I would see what quests I would have, and I will go ahead and combine my macros to do, those different kinds of quests. Um, but over time, I was like, man, there got to be an easier way to do this. So I found a very easy way to do it, and I do it now. I wish I would have learned it a long time ago. It would save, a whole lot of time and everything else like that. Wouldn't that be cool if we shoot you out of the canyon too? Um, and everything else like that. So let's go ahead and look at the different macros, right? Gonna go ahead here, so I could bring it and you guys could see it. Okay, right. So I have these different macros. Now, a lot of people would go ahead and open a macro, right? Like you have this is the easy ways to do it, right? Let's say you have cocoa, right? Coconut. Boom. All right, this one runs. I will go ahead and it runs well. But in my cocoa run, now I want to add. Let's say I'm gonna take this off screen for a second. I want to add. Okay, yeah, so we'll keep it over here. I want to add clover. Right, so now I'm in clover. So I will go ahead and copy, Control A. Okay, Control C. Now I'm pressing them at the same button. Usually I press Control, then I hit the C, Control C. Okay, which copies it. If not, I should be able to go to Edit, Copy. See, Control C. Then I go back to my cocoa. This is how a lot of people done it. Go all the way to the bottom. Click on that very last delay. Control paste. You'll see that clover is there, and people will save it as. All right. Since I'm high slot for cocoa clover. They will go ahead and save it, and they will go ahead and run that, and they'll run cocoa clover. Okay. For me, that takes a lot of time to be going into your different macros, combining them, and when you have an error, it's even so hard to find. So I do not do that. That's why when you come over here, you look at my I don't even know why I'm in OneDrive. You look at my macros, right, and they're all separate. Okay, because I do not do combining macros that way. I'm going to show you an easier way to do it, and we're going to do it from scratch. I could show you one, but we're going to do it from scratch, and I just close the macro. Okay, so let's go ahead and open file new. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and maximize this, and I'm going to show you one from scratch. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is insert a delay. Let's just do 500. Okay, now go back to insert. Now this insert has a cool feature, because you can run a macro within a macro. So you come over here to insert, you go ahead and click play another macro, and this is what I call a sub macro. Now I don't play the main. I don't play Coco for Coco. I don't play this one for underscore Coco as a main macro. Okay, I play it now as a sub macro, a macro within a macro. One of the other things I do, if you haven't seen it in the other videos, I put my macro folder in the C drive. Want to know why? Because I could bring it to any computer, and it will always put it in the C drive, and it will play my macros right away. Because if I had this in user with my name, and I go on another computer, and that computer has a different user, it doesn't have the same thing, then I have to come over here and I edit it. So I come over here, this will play Coco. I'm not going to show this because each field that's going to run is going to take a moment. Okay, so I come over here, and let's just use the fields that I was using. You could insert over here. There's different ways of inserting. You could do stuff on the side. I haven't really done this command on the side, but I just wanted to show you that it's here. See, there it is. Play another macro. That makes it even faster. See, even I'm learning something over here. Okay, go play another macro. Now I want blue flower. Boom. Okay, 4. I like the delays in the middle, and I always like to have a delay at the end of the macro. Bam. So if I run this, it runs Coco and blue flower. So what can I do with this? So that means that I could really, really get in depth and do a lot of different things. And I'm going to show you a more advanced macro right now in a moment. But really, sub-macroing or calling a macro within a macro is really that simple. Go ahead again, one last time, insert delay, insert play another macro, find the macro wherever you have it and how you have it on your computer. Come on, browse, and then pick the field that you want. Okay, now that we have that done, I'm gonna show you what I run. It's more detailed than this, but I wanted to make sure that I went over the basics with you real quick before we did anything else. I wanted you to understand. Okay, this is how to call a macro within a macro. Okay, hive slot 4. This one right here. So this is what I'm running right now for Beesmas, and it works amazingly well. Okay, so there's your delay 500 again. So I have this go through repeat 6. So it goes first to Coco, stump, Coco, and it repeats it this circle of 6 times because I'm trying to also kill the snail slowly but surely. So it's going to repeat this 6 times, and then it's going to end. Okay, so you're going to also see the lost connection. All that is a reconnection macro that makes sure that my character is in the game. If he's not in the game, he puts him back in the game, and it continues playing it. Anyway, that's the simple version of what's going on there. So I always make sure I run that before I run a field. Okay, so again, 6 times from. Let's see, does this allow me? Okay, there we go. It's going to repeat this section 6 times. So so 1, 2, 3. So I have 3, 18. I'm going to hit 18 fields. Okay, once that's done, and then I'm telling it to do something else. Now I'm telling it, hey, go do a bug run and go submit it to Polar Bear. Okay, and then after it does a bug run, which is a bug run only, it doesn't do ticket, it doesn't do anything. What this actually does, it hits, for example, spider. Okay, the spider comes out, kills the spider, farms a little bit of spider for a moment, just enough for the polar bear. If it had a polar bear quest, it will fill it up the polar bear quest, and then when it's done with the full run, it goes ahead, launches to polar bear, and turns in. Okay, I love this because it is a great way to get your polar bear quest done and collect a lot of materials. And I do it when I wanted to do it. That's the great thing about this. I set this macro up to run how I want to run. Now this macro here runs a little bit over an hour and everything else like that. I haven't really sat down and tested it, but from my previous macros and how I've done it, usually around that, maybe maximum an hour and a half. And then it just repeats everything else again. Okay? Here's another repeat. Bam, bam. Remember, if you're going to put a repeat, you have to end the repeat. Okay? Over here, I have the same example over here. Why do I have two? Because I actually, this is the one I'm running tonight. But the one I ran before, I had a different field here and I had a different field here. You know, because it wasn't a lot and I wanted to collect them, so I didn't want it to run all day. So this gives you a lot of freedom and everything else. My recommendation, if you're going to make it to last at least for 1 hour, so then you could check your clock, your festive candles, and everything else like that. And then after that, I run a check to the teapot. Okay. That way I could, it checks it every hour, so I don't miss an opportunity of collecting the honeysuckler. I call it sucklers. The honeysuckle. Okay, I don't miss an opportunity collecting that. I can make this very long where it will check it every 6 hours, but sometimes I might check it and then 3 hours later I'm starting a macro and stuff like that. So I prefer it. You know what? It's a quick check. It doesn't take a lot of time. Go ahead and check it every single hour. In the meantime, feast, candles, clock, stockings. It checks every half hour or so. Okay, so this is a more complex sub-macroing, and this is the way that I recommend every single player who wants to play. What's also is nice about it, that if I have a problem with one field, I'm sitting down and I'm looking and I'm saying, man, there's a problem with my cocoa, or there's a problem with my bug run, or there's a problem with the teapot check, right? Some movar, whatever, check, right? Or there's a problem with this one, or there's a problem with my, you know what? Just open that one up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. There's a problem. I'm going to my Beesmas with my check here. I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to play this one. I'm going to make the adjustments. And you know what? I do not have to change the other macro. The other macro stays exactly the same. I fixed my issue, whether it went too far in the hive or the jump, just needed a little bit of adjustment because I changed a bee or two, or maybe I changed my whole hive like some people have been doing. But either way, you could go ahead and make the adjustments and everything else like that. I have it where my younger son plays, and his account is not as advanced as mine. They're the ones who got me into Bee Swarm, and so we have to make adjustments on his macro because he has less bees and everything else like that. So, you go ahead and I highly recommend sub macroing. I think that is the best thing that anybody can do. It works really, really well. And if you have any issues, you could go to Coco, you could go to Dandy, you could go to whichever field, and then just fix those fields. And once you save it, you don't have to do anything else to Hive. Now, what I usually do when I come on, I'm going to go play today. I go over here, I check. And since I am a white hive, I go to Coco a lot. One of the things that I do is I go and I check the timer on Coco, because there's times that I forget, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I didn't really farm much because my timer was like an hour and I forgot to check it. Sometimes, usually somebody else is in here. The director, I call her the director, she's not here, but a lot of times I might come over here and just farm spider, because I make almost the same in spider that I do in cocoa. But I was thinking today about this idea, and I'm just gonna share it real quick. I did finish what I was talking about. Um, I did have an idea of adding into my cocoa, if it doesn't have the cocoa image up here, right? If it doesn't have this image in some form or some shape, then it goes in here, we collects it, comes back out, and runs the cocoa macro. Bam. Okay. Because that's boost, for 15 minutes, you know. That it's free and it comes out every 4 hours. So it doesn't hurt. I don't think it does hurt. I actually put that there. See, I don't even remember putting that there because I thought I was in cocoa earlier. Well, anyways, what does that matter? So enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really love to hear some of your feedback. I really love to see the macro community using that a lot more instead of combining macros. Again, combining macros is easy as cutting and pasting, but when you have an issue, you're going to have a long line of code. I don't really have those, so when you see these are these are the same way. This is how I used to do it. So I used to just copy and paste it so many times and run the field that I wanted to do and everything else like that. So this was I guess the old version before I got into the new version that you saw that runs really nice. And I don't think I have any combined field. As you saw my Beesmas, this might probably be like one of the longer combined because you have that one. Then you have the feast check. Then it heads to the candles. So, probably one of my longer ones. So if there was an issue, I will have to find it. But if you have any questions or concerns on this one, go ahead. I'm just trying to make sure that I did cover everything. Again, combining copy and paste, but man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bring it up again. That way, take a screenshot of it if you want to. Here it is. The preferred method that I have to running a macro. Again, you could add any fields that you want. Let's say if you wanted to do the feast and the candles at this time, go ahead and do the feast and the candles. See, this one doesn't have some more check. Why don't you have some more check? Oh, okay, because you're not the drive that I usually run my macros. See, because this is on my OneDrive. So I don't run macros on my OneDrive. I put in my OneDrive in case I get into another computer and I want to play it. So let's see. Okay, let's get into my C drive. There we go. My macros. Because I just want to post the one that I'm really running right now. Okay, see, I don't have gingerbread house. I took that off because when you collect it an hour and a half later, you reset the timer. When it puts a bee, while you're running, it puts a gingerbread inside there every 2 hours. So if you collect the gingerbread in 2.5 hours, you reset the timer for the next gingerbread. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to let it run for a couple of days and then I'm going to head to collect it. Yes, I was in another account 2 days later, after like 6-7 hours of playing or whatever. I had 3 gingerbread when I collected it. So it just keeps adding them and adding them and adding them and adding them. So I removed that from my macro. But this is exactly what I'm about to run for the night. It's working great again. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. You guys have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this video, please Go ahead, like, subscribe, please share, please tell other people about this video. Thank you again for watching. You have a wonderful evening, day, or night, depending on where you are at. You guys take care. Bye bye.